sola תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Shalom
הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבר אחים גם יחד. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'manayim she'verachti gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim she'verachim gam yachad. You know, we need to get you a microphone because they can't hear you online.
We're still live streaming?
I think we are.
Okay.
Are we still live streaming? Okay, so we need a microphone. She just invited. Rabbi Alban just invited her mother and father forward to light the candles for us this evening in the chapel. Oh my God. She tried to climb up onto the bima, but it was very difficult.
Our blessing is on page 2.
La 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 ya la la
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
Baruch
atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech
haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you.
That was beautiful. That was wonderful. You did a great job.
Okay, so this has been a memorable week for the Jewish community in several ways. All of our holidays, of course, but on top of that, we saw the release of our living hostages and breathing a breath of fresh air and hoping for a peace and a better future than what we have been experiencing over the last couple years. And so this whole week I've been feeling this sigh of relief, and yet also it's in my nature to always also worry about what is to come and what the future looks like. So there's a poet who I've been following particularly over the last 2 years, Hannah Yerushalmi. I don't know if any of you have followed her. She writes in the Times of Israel, has come out with several collections of poetry about Israel. And I stumbled upon this poem that she posted earlier this week. And I'll read it to you as we go into our Hazarat HaShavua moment and leave you with the question after I read it of, in this very broken world, and with this tendency we all have to celebrate good moments and then immediately look toward worry of what could be going wrong in the future, how can we continue taking the joy and the celebration and the hope that this week brought and just really hold on to it without worrying so much about what could go wrong? So this is called In His Pocket. The rabbis advised, keep 2 truths in your pocket. One should read, I am but dust and ashes, and the other should read, the entire world was created for me. An 8-year-old has something else in his pocket, confetti. Why? It's his emergency confetti. He says during these raw days, he carries it with him everywhere, just in case there is good news, just in case something goes right. So we'll take just a few moments to reflect on that. And we'll turn now to page 20, L'Chadodi.
לכבדודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לכבדודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי הורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. Here's our Sabbath bride. Boi v'shalom, ateret b'ala, gam b'simcha u'b'shalom.
solam toch emune am segula
boi chala
boi chala
lecha dodi
לקראת קלה, יללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה.
We'll actually stay standing. Sorry about that. And we'll turn to page 28. If you're on the live stream, we're now standing for Baruch Hu, our call to worship, page 28.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Ya la 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 la
In a moment, we will turn to Shema, and this week is Parshat Breshit, the first parsha of our Torah. And in the beginning, there was nothing. There was tohu vavohu, but everything was one. Everything was with God or with the divine or the divine itself, and there was nothing except for everything. And I hope that through Shema and our evoking of divine oneness, that we can find not fear in that tohu vavohu, but rather we can find a sense of wholeness and completeness that Shabbat intends to evoke in us and for us, and that our oneness will allow us to be one with ourselves, one with our community, and one with the divine. Shema is on page 34.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malachuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Michamocha is our prayer for freedom, both a celebration of the freedom we have and an acknowledgement of the freedom that we yearn for. And I've been thinking a lot in the past couple of weeks about expansiveness as a source of comfort and also as an affliction, and how we, each of us, are already found, and yet we are still searching, and we still want to be found, and how we hold those tensions and those truths that somehow make each other stronger and negate each other at the same time, and all of those emotions that swirl up when we want to be grateful, but as Rabbi Albin said, we also know that there's so much more to worry about. How can we hold the joy and jubilance of our freedom and also know that there's so much work to do for freedom for ourselves and for our neighbors? So together, on page 40, we sing Mi Chamocha.
Ya ba ba bim bim ba, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim ba, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam, ya ba ba bim bim bam, ya ba 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 bim bam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha נדר בקודש, נורדי לו תוספר, נורדי לו תוספר, מהלכותך ראו בניך, פוגע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם.
We continue on page 42 with Hashkivenu.
Do the third line down, and then the indented part. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Let's try that again. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ushmor tzeitenu uvoenu lechaim shalom meta ve'ad olam, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha.
We'll take time now in our service to bring the thoughts of all of those in our lives who could use some healing into this space. So we'll sing Misha Berach together. It's on page 253. We'll start by singing together. In the middle, we'll all share names from our lives and our community of people who could use that healing, and then we'll close by singing together again.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor
make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Sue Brucker, E. Joan Abrams, Bonnie Pastor.
Eliezer Abraham, Pamela Abraham, Joan Abrams, Karen Altman, Carol Anderson, Sam Berkowitz, Jill Kahn, Taylor Carter, Woody Clark, Rabbi Jerry Ram Cutler, Yaakov Ben Yitzchak, Gemma Del Duca, Andrew Zadulionis, Eitan Chaim, Ella Tzipora Bat Naftali Ephraim Vitzirel, Elisheva Chava Bat Zalman Haran Leah Miriam, Judy Fenton, Donnie Kaplan Fredrickson, Shir Gaon, Lisa Gilman Shanzer, John Gearhart, Eric Innocenti, Renee Kumitz, Sherry Linder, Ashley Murdoch, Nahum Laser Ben Yaakov, Rob Porper, Howard Rosen, Lee Silver, Lindy Sobel, Marvin Sobel, Nathan Sable, Mabube Suleimani, Flora Trossler, Rose Ugolnik, Helena Wachtel, Yehudit Bat Nachama V'Mordechai, Howard Zelico, and Brian and Linda Zussman.
Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We'll turn now to page 46 and rise together as we get ready to recite our Amidah. We'll start by singing as one community, one group, and then we will continue with our own silent prayer. And whenever you're finished, you may be seated. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yadid Tehilatecha, Ufi Yadid Tehilatecha. Let's go to page 60. Sing a song of peace. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata Lechol HaShalom. Ki ata Melech Hador. Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Shabbat Shalom. In preparation for tonight, we were talking earlier in the week, once we were moving into this space, because typically we don't have a Devar Torah during this time. So instead of a Devar Torah, really, this is a public service announcement. And the public service announcement is, you should try reading the Torah. Okay? This is the first week. We're in Bereshit. We're in the first Torah portion. And this is the greatest Torah portion to convince you that just reading it isn't enough. You need something else. And that something else is just your mind. That something else could be a book that has interpretations and commentaries in it. It could be a person that you sit with and you discuss it. On Thursdays, we don't bring any books with us. We just talk about what we're feeling when we read the different texts. And I wanted to point out tonight why you need it. And the first Torah portion in the Bible, there are so many examples of why you need to have interpretations or why you need to study it as opposed to just reading it like a book. I'll give you an example. In chapter 1, there's a story of creation. God's called Elohim. In chapter 2, there's a completely different story of creation, and that God's called Yahweh Elohim. How come there's two different names for gods in chapter 1 and then chapter 2? I'm not going to answer any of these questions. See, this is the tease, right? So what I wanted to, then there's, this is we actually are going to study tomorrow. Ever hear of Adam and Eve? They go into, have you ever heard of Adam and Eve? All right. They go into the Garden of Eden, right? And then there's a tree they're not allowed to eat from, right? And what happens? They eat it. Whose fault was it? I'm not telling anyone. You have to come back tomorrow morning if you want to discover whose fault it is. It's always her fault, right? Hint. Okay. But what I really wanted to talk about, and this is one of the most glaring moments of the Torah where if you just read it, you really have no idea what's going on, and that's the Cain and Abel story. You all know Cain and Abel, the first two people ever born. It's only males. How there's going to be procreation after that, we can leave that for a different story. And if it was a male and a female, they'd be siblings, so I'm not going to go there. But two people in the world. One is a tiller of the soil. I always get it mixed up. Cain is the tiller of the soil. Abel's in charge of kind of the animals. He's like a shepherd. And they both bring sacrifices to God, and God only accepts Abel's sacrifice and not Cain's. We could have a long discussion about what a horrible parent God is, and why would you ever just choose one over the other. But that is for another time. See, these are all just, you're going to be like after this, I have to discover all this stuff. And so God says the strangest thing. I actually wrote it so I would get the exact words for you. Why are you so distressed, says God to Cain when his offering isn't accepted. Why has your face fallen? What does it mean you think to have your face fallen? Just, he puts his head down, he feels bad, his face is long. Surely if you do right, there is uplift. But if you do not do right, sin couches at your door. Its urge is toward you, yet you can overcome it. And I just love the idea that God understood that we have these negative impulses. They're always right there, but we can overcome those impulses. And then comes this line, and I'm going to read the line once, and then I'm going to ask, do you have any questions? So keep that in mind as I read it. Here's the line. Cain said to his brother Abel, and when they were in the field, Cain rose up upon his brother Abel and killed him. Any questions? That's a totally clear sentence. My two rabbinical friends are going to certainly understand that there's questions in this line. Shall I read it again? Cain said to his brother Abel, and when they were in the field, Cain rose up upon his brother and killed him. Let's just do a little what, where, why, who, and how, right? Am I sure I didn't leave something out? How come only the rabbinical student asked me if I've left something out? Cain said to his brother Abel, what did he say to him? How do you know? It's not in the text. I just read you the text. He actually does say that a little bit later. Cain said to his brother Abel, and when they were in the field, how did they get to the field? Why are they in the field? Cain rose up. It's actually vayakom, and I use the wording rose up to kill him. Why did he have to rise up to kill him? Why was he coming like, it almost feels like from underneath to kill him? And then lastly, they're the first two human beings on the earth. How did he even know how to kill someone? How did he know he could kill someone? What do you think, what did he use to kill him? How long did that take? How did he know he was dead? There's only been two human beings. No one's died yet. These are all really interesting questions to figure out, literally, 2 lines of this text. Nope, they're still around. They were on vacation. They had to go on vacation after they ate from the fruit, right? No, they're not around. It's just Cain and Abel out of the garden, right? And nope. We don't know if they've died or not. I'm just assuming they haven't. So where could we find some of these answers? Where would we find some of these answers? Our brain is the first place we start. What did Cain say to Abel? We could all guess. We could all say, you know what, I think he might have said this to him, or I think he might have said that. And that is as valid as anything anyone else would say about it.
Are you saying that we could write midrash?
We could. And then the word that she used there, midrash, is a whole series of literature that tries to answer a lot of these kinds of questions in the Torah. They try to answer these questions like, why does it say he said to him? Why does it not tell us what he said to him? And actually, Would you like to know the answers to some of these questions according to the Midrash, according to the rabbis, lived 2,000 years ago? What he said to him, now you remember, Cain was in charge of the land and Abel was in charge of the animals. So it says Cain went up to his brother and he said, hey, let's just split up the world. I'll take the land, you take all the animals. And Abel's like, okay. And then later on, Cain comes up to him and says, hey, you're standing on my land. Jump up into the air and stay there. And then Abel's like, wait a minute, you're wearing clothes. You're wearing wool. Those are my clothes that came from my animals. Strip. Take your clothes off. And as brothers do, if you've ever had a brother, they started running after each other. And they're running in hills, and they're running in dales, and they're running all over. And finally, Abel overcomes Cain, and he's sitting on top of... Anyone have an older brother here? Older brother sits on top of you, hands on your arms so you can't do anything. I mean, this is what my brother used to do. And just blow in my face, right? This one was Abel over Cain, and Cain's like, oh, don't do anything to me because Dad's going to be so upset if you do. So I guess Abel is alive. Adam is alive because Cain says this according to the Midrash. It's like, don't hurt me. What are you going to say to Dad? And Abel's like, oh, yeah, okay. And when he starts to let him up, Cain rises up from that position to kill him. And he takes a rock, and he just starts smashing him with the rock until he finally hits his jugular vein and ends up killing him. No, Cain starts it in that case. Well, that's why his face falls at first.
But it also...
Well, that could be that that's what it was, and that's maybe why Cain was the first one to come and say, you're on my land. Right. Get off my land. What were you going to say?
I think it changes the whole story for me if I think I've never thought about the fact that this is the first death. I have, but I haven't thought deeply. This is the first death in the Torah, so maybe Cain and Abel don't know what's going to happen. So it's not, I don't know if it's murder in the same way, because
you're saying it's manslaughter.
Because it's about intent.
Yes,
it's
but the intention wasn't there. It's interesting.
That is interesting, right? And by the way, the reason why the rabbis say that it was a stone and he hit him in so many places is because when God asks Cain, where's your brother? He says, your brother's bloods. And it's a plural word God uses for blood. So the rabbis are like, why would they use a plural word there? Is because there were a whole bunch of places where he hit him and the blood was coming out of him. So that's why it's plural for bloods instead of if it was one smash or one cut, it would only bleed from one place. But the point I wanted to kind of bring out here is just this one little line is imperfect. We don't know where that piece is of what Cain said to Abel. It's gone. We'll never know. Well, I don't know, some archaeological dig in the year, 3025, maybe. But at this point, we don't know the true answers to it. What I just told you is kind of what Jewish tradition and the rabbis had said about it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that is exactly what happened. I feel like that's kind of like a springboard where it's like, oh, you can be creative on this. You can kind of make stuff up. You can kind of, tell whatever story you need to that fits the text that you've been reading. So I just encourage us. We're on Genesis. We're on Bereshit, that first Torah portion. If there's ever a time to kind of start reading through everything and going through the Torah portions, now's a really wonderful time to do it because you could have a whole year where you can go through the entire Torah as you're reading from it. Yes?
My husband once asked me, "Hey, do you believe in the Cain and Abel or Adam and Eve?" And I looked at him and I said, yeah. They have different upbringing.
But whether you believe in it or you don't believe in it, the text is such a rich text and has so much behind it that it's the conversation about it that's the most important, because that conversation's been going on for thousands of years. That's the key for me, is participating in a conversation that my grandfather was in, that my great-grandfather, my great-great-great-grandmother maybe, but that my ancestors were literally reading the same stories and talking about it and reading the same midrashim that we read. I mean, to me, that's incredibly powerful and incredibly deep. So That's my public service announcement for today. And you're welcome to join every Tuesday morning at
9 a.m. We have Women in Torah every Tuesday morning, and there's so many opportunities. So Women in Torah, 9 a.m. Tuesdays. Your tune-in Torah is
Thursdays at 12:30.
And then every Saturday we do a Torah study here during our service at 10 a.m.
TBA.
TBA, that needs to be announced. Okay, the discussion is over. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
I said the...
We're going to continue now with Aleinu on page 282 at the top of the page. I'll invite everyone to please rise.
עלינו לשבח, לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטש השמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
אחד. We may all be seated. Ready to recite our mourner's Kaddish, but before we do so, we take the time to think of all of those who might be here with us online, who are in a period of mourning. So if you are in a period of the first 7 days of mourning, I'll invite you to share the name of who you are remembering right now. Or if you're in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, I'll invite you to share the name of who you are remembering right now. Our Temple Emanuel community is remembering Annette Woolman-Kleeman, Charles Brown, Alan Bandler, and Paris Narafshan. And if you are in the first year of mourning, I'll invite you to share the name of who you are remembering. And finally, if you are here observing a yard site, I'll invite you to rise now and share the name of who you are remembering. Our Temple Emanuel community is remembering Edgar F. Gross, Bert Naster, Ida and Ira Rushal, May Shapiro, and Beverly Esther Young. And now we rise together. We're on page 294 to recite Kaddish. We think of all those who don't have anyone to say Kaddish for them, all those who have died recently because of the violence and the disease of our world. And we recite Kaddish together. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, be'amad divrach cherutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yomachon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, Bagala uvizman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olomei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnatseh. V'yithadar v'yithalet v'yithalal shmei d'kodeshah b'rechu. Le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nehemata. Damiram be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. Zikronam livracha. May all of their memories be for a blessing. We may be seated. And before we close, a couple of announcements, which
It
are...
is we're not going to be at Factors tonight.
Okay, so join us on the evening of Wednesday, October 22nd, where we are going to have a conversation with Rick Caruso, moderated by Rabbi Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Want to say any?
It's going to be a great conversation. Be very interesting. And we'll see what he's doing in the future.
And then next Friday night is one of our best Shabbat services of the year, Animal Shabbat. We do this every year because we read Parashat Noach and the story of all the animals on the ark, and so we bring our own animals to celebrate the Shabbat. So if you have puppies, kittens, cats, whatever animal can be transported safely to
We
this
have
temple.
had birds. We've had birds and gerbils and stuff like
Interesting. Maybe I can imagine like a snake coming, maybe.
that. I think the first year we may have had a snake, but all animals are welcome.
Yeah,
Right.
It's a very sweet service. That's next Friday, 6:15. This is a big one. If you have not already heard, we are having our community retreat November 14th through 16th at Brandeis Bardeen in Simi Valley. It'll be a weekend of outdoor adventure and music and meditation and art and prayer and
hikes.
all things. And like now is the time
You
to
can hike
register.
with me, and it will be really spiritual.
Yeah, we're all going to be there leading various programs. It's going to be awesome. So that's November 14th. November 9th, right before that, is our poker tournament.
What if the finale was at the retreat?
Of the poker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't play poker, but
Me neither.
it'll be a lot of fun, and it's a fundraiser for our schools. So please join us for that. And in April and March, Cantor Lizzie Weiss is leading March of the Living trip, which is a trip to Eastern Europe where they see the sites of the Holocaust and World War II, and then make a pilgrimage to Israel for Yom HaAtzmaut. So go onto our website and read your highlights to find more info.
November 1st, sound bath. We have a couple people that come to that in this room.
Thank you all for joining. We're glad that we had a minyan, and it was nice being in a circle with all of you. And for all of us online, nice praying with you too. We will close out our service.
Oh, say shalom b'mromah. Hooyah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom. Ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael.
So why don't we join together back here, and we'll do Motzi and Kiddush together. I was wondering if anyone else did. It's a lot of fun. November 21st, we'll be back. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat